Chinese tech and video game company Tencent is working with subsidiary Riot Games on a mobile version of League of Legends, as reported by Reuters, which claims to have spoken with 3 sources with knowledge of the matter. The mobile version of the popular MOBA has been in development for over a year, but probably will not see the light of day until 2020 at the earliest. League of Legends earned an estimated $1.5 billion in 2018, and while that's hardly a paltry sum, it's significantly less than the $2.1 billion it amassed throughout 2017. A mobile version of the game could help arrest that revenue slide by giving Riot and Tencent access to new players, and perhaps presenting more monetization opportunities. League of Legends is not doing as well as it used to, and so Riot badly needs a way to monetize the game, especially considering that it is Riot's only game, said news analyst Duty Only, speaking to Reuters. While there have also been suggestions a mobile version of League could make the title more viable in Asia and help with Riot's esports efforts, it might still struggle in a lucrative Chinese market due to the success of Tencent's other mobile model, Honor of Kings, which had an estimated 140 million active users in March. Game industry veteran Peter Mu left the business behind when he left Electronic Arts in 2017 to become CEO of the Liverpool Football Club, and now he's afraid it's coming after him. I am concerned as a CEO of a football club that relies on the next generation of fans coming through, Mu recently told Arabian Business magazine. There's so much pressure on time now, and only 24 hours in a day, and there are only so many hours to play Fortnite. It's interesting to see that even in the world of one of the world's biggest international sports, video games, especially free-to-play juggernauts like Fortnite, offer sizable competition for young people's time and money. The interview also reveals Mu is applying a lot of what he learned in the game industry to his work of selling football, including tickets, broadcasts, and merch, to the next generation of paying fans. That's something I learned in video games. I can push you all kinds of stuff on particular players. But if you are only interested in striker Mohamed Salah, and I do not know that, my outreach is wasted, Nur said. You meant like midfielder Gini Wijnaldum. The more we learn about you, the more we can push Gini Wijnaldum stuff that you will click or engage. The key is that I need to know who you are. The rest of his comments make an interesting reading over on the Arabian Business website. Pathia Games, developer behind the role-playing game My Time at Potion, has come under fire over reportedly withholding payments to their voice actors for several months. Although seemingly resolved at this point, this is still important to highlight, especially since developers, both big and small, should pay their workers and contractors a fair, agreed upon rate in a timely manner. The problem seems to back as far as October 2018, where the treatment of My Time at Potion's voice actors was detailed in a Steam thread, which has since been locked. Most of the issues seem to revolve around compensation, with the author of the post writing how voice actors were reportedly being paid only $50 for 100 plus lines of voiced dialogue. A handful of voice actors took to Twitter to express their dismay over how Epic Games has handled the situation thus far. As of January 19th, My Time at Potion is at number 1 in the Steam Global Top Sellers list, leading men to wonder if the sales from those copies sold are finally being used to pay contractors. Pathia Games has put out a statement over the issue as well. explaining how it was an oversight issued with one of our designers, although it's unclear if that means that designer forgot about the voice actors, or they did not oversee the actors properly. Cannot write that long comment here on Twitter, so please see the content in the picture below. For the voice acting issue, we are facing MYTIMEATPORT at a peak. Twitter, Gamasutra, AppleGames has launched a new website, in the interest of giving game developers access to more information on how to make their games more accessible through community collaboration. The website, Accessible Games, features what AppleGamers calls the Accessible Player Experience, Apex portal, as well as the Player Panels program. The organization, launched a few years back, it's a useful tool for developers that offers a solid starting point for creating games that are accessible to a wide variety of players right out of the box, and one that comes with a wealth of information on a variety of accessibility considerations. The Apex portal offers depth examples of different design problems, suggestions for how to approach those issues, and examples of the pattern in action. Right now that section includes over 20 different design patterns covering topics like moderation, game interfaces, and control schemes. And AppleGames says that those resources will continue to evolve. The other side of Accessible Games aims to connect players with disabilities to game developers seeking input on accessibility features in their own games. Devs can find information on how to submit a project for that program, as all of the information from the Apex portal on AppleGamers' new site. This article is a repost from my personal blog at https://mailccgk.github. I recently wrote about why I think object-oriented programming is not a good tool to write code. In that post I wrote, however, in my experience, taken as faculty for software development by the majority of professionals. Object-oriented programming is often taught and, therefore, learned right after the basic programming constructs, variables, conditionals, loops, basic types, and, in languages like C, pointers and basic memory allocation deallocation. Hence, most people have only approached medium to large code bases from minor plans, although there are large code bases written in non-null languages, e.g. the Linux kernel, written in C. I'd argue most sizable code bases currently in development are built using object-oriented design, not an empirical study. Based on my experience working on C code bases, in this blog post I do like to present a different starting point to approach writing software. Obligatory caveat: this is not a one-size-fits-all solution. No, it does not pretend to be. Writing code is still a craft more than a science. So in my opinion, do this, do not do that. Advice should be paired with measurable pros and cons. Having said that, I should also note that as a community, software developers do not even agree on what characteristics make the list of advantages or disadvantages, nor what priorities should be assigned to them. I assume you are familiar with my Oriented Design Subcon 2014 talk. If not, go watch it now. I will wait. Data-oriented design, DoD, is a fundamental concept. Understanding how the hardware works at a high level is a prerequisite to writing instructions for a computer to execute. However, DoD does not tell you how to write code. In this conversation with Tristan Erickson that my captain made public, Krister explains why DoD is not a modeling approach. Q is not data-oriented design, just data flow programming. R why DoD is not a modeling approach at all. I will quote an exchange with Christer Eriksson's answer, with permission, on this subject. Note, not data flow programming. Data flow programming, as well as food for that matter, is a modeling approach, and specifically for data flow programming, by expressing data connectivity as a graph. While neither me, nor Mike Acton, nor Noel Lopez has ever provided an official definition of DoD, nor have we really been interested in doing so, nor would we necessarily 100% agree on one.